Welcome back to Know Your Charity. I'm in discussion with Dr. Ilyas Parker, ahead of their pledge line tonight, right here on channel 346 Academia Library. It's coming live from Cape Town. And of course, you can catch it from 9:30. Ilyas, let's talk about the digitization. Current era where we are right now, everyone's on their smartphones, everyone's on their laptops. A lot of people are so engrossed in, their phones, and if they want to read something, they'll want to go onto their phones and want to read it on their laptops. So, what has Academia Library done to make sure that they're in this new digital age, but also at the same time keeping the physical books? Because like myself and so many others, we like to take a book, sit with something to eat or drink when obviously Ramadan is finished, and would like to just enjoy the book in its physical form.
For us, I think it's important to note that whilst we are cognizant of the fact that we need to move into the new era of digital provisions of the various material, but I think one needs to be aware of the fact that the need for the book, the touch of feel and paper, feeling the paper when you read, is an important aspect of reading, absorbing and registering what one is reading. However, having said that, we are in the process of making sure, and it's an expensive process to actually digitize this material, but we're downloading as much as we can. We've got capacity on our network. It's an expensive exercise, first of all, to subscribe to digital material, number one, and number two, to actually take a hard copy and digitize it is a process. But I think it is becoming more easily done today than, for example, 2 to 3 years ago. So within the foreseeable year or two, we should have a huge amount of literature available for disseminating digitally. The other important aspect about going to Google and all the digital platforms, for material is information is readily available. However, it is the governance of that information. It's the governance of those teachings that are being put on as Islamic text that is crucial today. There's a plethora of information, as I said, but the distinction between that material and the material in hard copy is the authenticity of material that is in the confines of a library has been governed properly, has been screened properly, and can be attested to. However, material that is available digitally is an open platform. Anybody can put anything there. There's no governance about the authenticity of that. And that is where the question of misguidance and confusion can come in. And this is why today the library is as important as it was in former years. And maybe I just want to mention how important the library is, and I can give this as a yardstick so that it can drive home to the minds of our people, that during the days, where invasions took place, of countries, of Muslim countries especially, it wasn't the army bases that was bombed first. It wasn't parliamentary houses that was bombed first. Believe you me, it was the libraries of Muslim countries that were destroyed first before they even went with the artilleries elsewhere. This just underpins the importance of libraries, the importance of knowledge-based areas as far as we as Muslims are concerned.
100%, I have to agree with you there. The authenticity of it and just having, like you mentioned, the feel of the book and the page just brings a whole different feeling to when you are reading that piece of literature. Tonight is the pledge line, Ilyas. Just give the viewers an idea of what they can expect tonight and what they can pledge towards.
First of all, I need to mention that it's an absolute privilege to talk to our viewers from Makkatul Mukarramah. I am on Umrah, and I think it's a sensitive space for me. It's a cherished moment for me to sit in the Holy Land and to speak to our people, particularly when it comes to sharing what is very close to my heart, what I'm very compassionate about, and that is the library. So an earnest appeal to everybody, your contribution, your pledge, your support, your du'as is important for us to deliver on this mandate, for us to deliver the objectives of Academia Library that we have set out for ourselves. So tonight we're asking you to support a number of programs. One is the Book Legacy Project. And here we are saying to you, you can sponsor a shelf of books to the value of 25,000 Rand, nominate and dedicate it for the Isal Sawab of anyone in your family or many more than one in your family. And I think that to us will give you the accreditation of having sponsored that shelf, and B, you could contribute and guide us as to what are the exact type of books in that particular field. For example, we want to have a shelf dedicated for Qurans. We want to shelf every Quran that is available in every language throughout the world. Or two, you could sponsor a shelf on education. And let's face it, as I spoke earlier about ICRA, education is the domain of our community as a growth. So we could sponsor a shelf on the tafsirs of the Quran. You can sponsor a shelf on Sharia, or for that matter, on jurisprudence. So we are asking people to sponsor a shelf of books to the value of 25,000 rand. And this will give you a lifetime accreditation for the Isale Sawab of a nominated person of your choice. Or you could sponsor a number of books, for 10,000 rand or up to 5,000 rand. So there's the book legacy project. And as I said, those are the categories that we want to fill the shelf with. A shelf full of books of Sharia, jurisprudence, Quran, or medicine for that matter. The second thing is we are launching a program called Transformative Education Program, where we are focusing ourselves on the youth, the rebirth youth. I think what's commonly happening in and around us, for us, is that people are given Qurans and they are told in the various languages in the townships, for example, Xhosa or Zulu, and they are given a Zulu Quran and a Xhosa Quran, and they embrace Islam and they are left, unnourished, unguided. The library is a space where we want to bring in up to 20 kids at a time, give them the Quran of their language, of their choice, and take them in the process of a starter pack type of process where we take them through what it is to be a Muslim, how do we become a Muslim, how do we grow into the field of being a Muslim. And I think that will happen over a 6 month to a year period. And we're asking people to sponsor a rebirth process, a rebirth program rather, for up to 20,000 rand. And that will ensure that we'll take a child, give him the Quran, give him a starter pack, give him a Yasser al-Quran, teach him that within the space of the library, and take him through the Salah process and to the essence of what Sharia expects us as Muslims. And then hopefully when that year is done, take them to the next level. And I think that is maybe what has been missing. So there's a number of people that are embracing Islam, children, especially youth. We have the distinct situation where a couple of years ago, about 2.5 years ago, prior to COVID, we had Quran stories within the library, and the whole issue of Nabi Yunus was discussed and in a very animated way explained to the kids. And in that group of children, there was one non-Muslim kid. And 2 days later, he came back and he embraced Islam. Again, we made Shahada to him, read Shahada to him. His mother took him away. What has happened to him, we don't know. He was a 9-year-old kid. We are saying that those kids should not be lost. We should take them, hold their hand, and nurture and grow them into the field of being a Muslim. We should take them as one of our own. And that is the program, the Transformative Education Dawah program that the Academia Library is undertaking.
No, alhamdulillah.
So those are the two processes. And I appeal to people, this is an opportunity for Sadaqatul Jariyah. This is the month of giving. This is a large pledge drive. The library, for us, I just want to mention, in the past, used to be funded, through a private donor. Alhamdulillah, he's still continuing to do that, but that's not sufficient. It was the Cape Town Big Walk, which is the third biggest social sporting event on the calendar, that was a financial arm of the library. Unfortunately, we haven't had a walk because of the pandemic for 2 years, have experienced extreme financial constraint, and this is why this pledge drive is so crucial to us in order to deliver on our mandate, in order to serve our ummah in terms of the needs and the objectives of the library. So an earnest appeal to people, your contribution to help us in the drive of the book legacy project, as well as a transformative education Dawah program, reverting for the rebirth is important. I think the rebirth is as much our responsibility as much it is their responsibility. Dawah is the mainstay of the growth of our deen. I think, if we look at the amount of people that have embraced Islam throughout the world, it's not surprisingly the fastest growing religion in the world. However, I think it's a qualitative aspect that we need to look at. And that is where we say, if a child in the township is embracing Islam, that is a Sadaqatul Jariyah for us as Muslims. However, we need to do justice to that Sadaqatul Jariyah by giving the deen to them in a livable, in an accreditable way. The Academia Library has undertaken to do that, inshallah.
Ameen Tuma, Ameen, alhamdulillah. And I wish we had more time, Ilyas, to continue this conversation, but the time is definitely against us. But we'd like to say Jazakallah to you for making the time. We'd like to wish you and the rest of Academia Library all the best ahead of the pledge tonight. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you many more years of barakat, success, and the ability to preserve Islamic literature and knowledge and education within Academia Library, inshallah. Ameen.
Jazakallah khair to your good self as well, our viewers of Ramadan television. And I'm looking forward to host a plethora of people within our pledge drive come the 1st of May, 9:30 p.m. inshallah.
Ameen, thumma ameen. Dr. Ilyas Parker, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, the live pledge line happening tonight here on Ramadan TV channel 3462. Stay tuned at 9:30. It will be happening. Well, from myself, Faraz Patel, and the rest of the team here at Know Your Charity, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.